Good morning. Hope my voice is okay. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of Algomojo team. Welcome to the session on uh, where we're going to see how to automate your strategies using Algomojo platform. This session is getting recorded, so in case if anybody would like to have a look at it later, it will be made available towards the second half of the day. And would like to request all of you to kindly keep the session as interactive as possible. uh, Type out any queries that you would have, type out any things that you would like to see in our platform using the chat box. So I'll be pretty happy to answer your queries and show you the demo of whatever you would like to look at. So we will start the session with a small presentation. Then we will get to look at our platform and see how we do the automation. Mainly, we'll be using TradingView today for automation purpose. And in case if anybody is keen, we can try and look at Amibroker also. Yeah, please use the chat box to type out any queries that you would have. The agenda that we have today is to look at some of the key features and benefits which the platform offers, not only for traders. It can be used for long-term investors also. Now we will look at a few strategies in TradingView and see how we can automate those strategies. Whenever there's a signal is getting generated in TradingView, those signals can be picked up and placed as an order in any of the brokers with whom we have done the automation API integration. Now, in case anybody is looking at Amibroker, we can try and have a look at that also. A brief about our support, and share you details about how to access our support team and during market hours and after market hours, various methods of contacting our support team in case if you have any queries to be addressed, or if you'd like to, or if you need any assistance in using our platform. Yeah, again, requesting all to type out your queries and anything particular that you would like to see, please use the chat box to type out your queries and questions, and I'll be happy to address them as we go along. Yeah, our Algomojo is a web-based platform, so you can use any of the browsers to log into the platform and start using our platform as such. We don't have any dedicated app or mobile app as such. It is a web-based platform, completely available for usage either in desktops or laptops or even in mobile phone. I would recommend to start off using a desktop or a laptop, and once you get the initial setups done, you can monitor them using from your mobile also using any of the browsers. Yeah, we see. The Yeah, there are a couple of queries which have come in. Yeah, we will try and I'll try and update as to what are the new features that we are adding, and trying to get live with those new features. And most important part is that we are just a bridge provider. We act as a bridge between your charting platform where the signals for entry or exits are generated. We pick up those signals and place orders uh, into your broker account. Now, we had gone and discussed with the exchanges as to if we need to register or get some kind of approval done from the exchanges for people to use our platform. The feedback that we got was that people or the platforms which offer strategies are expected to register and get it approved for their clients to use those strategies. Since we are not a strategy provider, or we are not a advisory kind of service where we give tips. We don't give any tips as to what to buy, when to buy, how to buy, those kind of things. uh, the feedback that we have received is that it is not mandatory that Algomojo gets the registration done for offering these services. However, we have tied up, or we have started working with the exchanges also to get ourselves empaneled, so that going forward, if there are any changes in the regulations, if we have to follow that, we don't lose out on the time. We will be empaneled with all the exchanges, NSE, BSE, and MCX, all these exchanges. We have started working with these exchanges to get ourselves empaneled. So you can, since the client or the users would get their own strategies, and they do not depend on Algomojo for getting these strategies, the applicability of approvals from the exchange is not valid. However, to be on the safer side, we are trying to get an empanelment done. So we are in process of providing all the documentation, whatever steps have to be done. We are doing that. Yes. Yes. Now, the other requirement in terms of regulation would be that any orders that are getting placed using API services, those need to be sent from a fixed IP as such. Now, this was supposed to have gone live in August. For various reasons, it has got postponed to twice as such, and looks like it will be mandated sometime from March or April of this year. So, as a service provider, we are ready with the solution to provide static IPs for all the users. Our platform is completely geared up and we are ready. We're just waiting for the regulation to make it mandatory, so that we will provide the IPs required for using our APIs to place orders. Yes. Yeah, it can be to any broker. So, using the static IPs, you will be able to place orders with any of the brokers with whom you are trying to trade or invest. It could be Zerodha, it could be Upstock. We have tied up with close to 33, 35 brokers. I'll share the list of brokers with whom we have done the API integration already. So, if you have an account with any of these brokers, you'll be able to use our services. Yes. Now, we have done integration, or if you're using strategies, or if you're running strategies from platforms like TradingView, Amibroker, MT4, charting, you will be able to transmit those signals using our platform to place orders for entry or exits. So, we have again we have done integration with 35 brokers. I'll share the list, and whatever codes are required, or whatever sample modules are required, we provide that in our platform itself. We have tried to keep this usage as simple as possible, as user friendly as possible. People with basic knowledge of computer usage will be able to use our platform and automate it, automate your signals, automate your strategies for order placements. You need not have to have any kind of programming or coding knowledge required to use our platform and automate your strategies. We try to keep it as simple as possible, so that anybody and everybody will be able to use the platform for automation. Now, whether you use laptop, or whether you use multiple laptops or mobile phones, irrespective of that, the orders would go from the same IP. Suppose you have opened an account with a broker and you have registered with us for using that broker's services for order placements. So, irrespective of the device that you use, the static IP will remain the same. So if you're trying to place orders from your mobile phone or a desktop or a laptop, doesn't matter. The static IP will remain the same. Right. Yeah. So, as I was mentioning, we have tried to keep the usage as simple and as easy as possible. We keep looking at feedbacks from the users and people. There is a facility in case if there's a feature that you find it is not available, you can request for that facility to be made available. Based on the feasibilities, we'll try and implement those features or feasible facilities. Currently, if it is not available, we'll make that available. I'll show you how to request for a new feature also in a platform. Now, uh, there are many other providers like AlgoFox or Algomojo. There are lots of them available. We are completely different platform. The biggest advantage with Algomojo is that you need not have to look into any strategy codes or source codes to automate your strategies that you would be running. Uh, it is just a copy paste of couple of things we will see during the live demo today. You just copy paste one or two things like a webhook URL or a JSON code for buy or selling kind of thing in TradingView. That is all is the operation required, and it is all one time setup that you need to do. After that, it will be always be available in case if you want to make any modifications or edit, you can do that. Otherwise, after you do the setup, it can keep running for you without any intervention. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Now, coming back to the presentation, some of the key features would include things like you can decide or you can customize what is that you want to trade. You're not dependent on us to say for any kind of order placements. You can define and decide as to what is that you want to use the platform for. Either you can trade in equities, or you can trade or invest in futures, equities, or even options also. So these are the segments that are available currently. And our platform supports only the Indian market. It can't be used for automation of, say, forex or crypto kind of uh, facilities that people look for. Currently, we do not support anything beyond the Indian markets as such. Now, if you're an option buyer, you can definitely buy using our platform. In case you want to write options, you can do that. There are facilities available for hedging your main trades, either if you're trading in equities or if you're trading in futures and you would like to hedge them with an option. So those kind of facilities are built in our system. And if the quantity is huge, we will take care of the splitting of the orders. You need not have to worry about placing multiple orders. The system will do it for you. And in terms of risk management, we provide facility for trade targets, stop loss, and trailing stop loss. Now, these can be in the form of, say, it can be in the form of points or percentage or even MTM based or even profit based. If you're a swing trader, if you'd like to lock in a certain kind of amount of profit for each of the trades that you would do, you can do that or define that in the system itself. So whenever your targets get hit or a stop loss gets hit, then the position that you would have taken will get closed as such. Yes. Now, also you can customize the start time and end time. Suppose you don't want to trade in the during the morning session, or when the volatility is high, or towards the end of the session, you can set timings so that uh, the orders, the signals coming in the window of that you would define, only those signals will be processed. If it comes beyond the window of the time set, then those signals will get ignored. Now, in case if you would like to trade throughout the entire day, say it's possible. You can set the by default the system can run from say 9 o'clock till 11:30, 12 also if you are trading current this thing commodities. So it can keep running. All you have to do is switch it on in the morning, log in the morning, and it can keep working for you without any. Um, you need not have to keep monitoring, or you need not have to keep looking at what is happening. The system will be taking care of the signals as and when it is received. The orders will be placed. Now, for all users, we provide facility for live trade, paper trade also. Now, there are six strategies that you could use for paper trading. The paper trading as a facility is provided for users to check our system, check the process that needs to be used while using a system. It is not suggested to be used as a backtesting tool or a forward testing kind of tool. We don't have facility for backtesting or forward testing. So we always recommend that you start with the paper trade, see if the orders are getting executed as per your requirements, and once you get a hang of the way the platform is functioning, and if the orders are getting placed as per your requirements, then you can go in for a live trade. It is just to check the process as to the order flow. If it is happening as per your strategic requirements, as and when the signals are getting generated, whether those orders are getting placed, whether you're trading in ATM or OTM or ITM, whether those strike prices are in sync with what you're expecting or what you're trying to do. So to check those kind of facilities, the paper trade is made available. Kindly start with the paper trade, and then you can always change over to live trade. Now, you can, in case if you're a swing trader, you can do the rollovers also. Those kind of facilities are available. And some of the other features that are available would include things like, suppose you don't want to take too many trades, you would like to restrict it to, say, 3 trades in a day or 6 trades in a day, you can do that. In case if you don't want, if you would like to take all the signals that are getting generated, that's by default enabled. So any signals coming from your charts will be sent to the brokers for order placements. Suppose you said that no, I don't want to take more than 3 trades in the day. So after the third trade, the system will get into an inactive state, and new signals coming in will not be processed, and orders will not be placed. Right. So such kind of facilities are made available. Now, if you're an option trader and you would like to trade various strategies, then you can create each of these legs independently and then group them together. And based on a single signal, those all the orders can be executed. And you can also define in the manner in which the orders need to flow. Now, suppose your strategy would involve option buying and option writing, then you can say that you want to buy the option first and then do the writing part so that you get the margin benefit. And while exiting, you would like the position which has been written to be closed first, and then the option which has been bought that needs to be closed next. So you can set those priorities. So once you set those priorities, the based on the signal coming in, as per the priority set by you, the orders will keep getting sent across to the broker's platform for execution as such. Now, you can get notifications on Telegram. We have a Telegram channel called Algomojo Bot. So all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. You will get a chart ID. Use the chart ID and assign it to the strategy that you are running in Algomojo. So whenever there's a signal getting generated or whenever there's an order getting placed, you will get Telegram notifications on your mobile or laptop, wherever you're running the Telegram app as such. The segments that you could trade would include cash, intraday, and delivery. For both, you can use our platform, and you can trade in futures. It could be NSE, BSE, or commodities, any of these, and you can trade in options. Almost all options of the indices and even the stocks are available. So, in case you want to trade, and your broker is supporting market orders for stock options, you can use this platform for placing orders. Yes, yes, we do some commodity options also. In terms of the API integration, we have done with close to 35 brokers. This is the list of brokers with whom we have done the integration. So if you have an account already with any of these brokers, you can start using our platform. All users will get 7 days trial, and kindly make use of the trial provided to test our platform and check our platform. In case if you find that our platform is able to meet your requirements of trading or investing, then you can go in for a subscription method. for. And in terms of subscription, you have three options. You have a monthly option, half yearly option, and a yearly option. On a yearly basis, it works out to 6,000 rupees per year, which is 500 per month. So we try to keep the cost as low as possible. And we have also done a tie-up with these seven brokers. In case if you open a new account with any of these seven brokers, you will get the Algomojo subscription. Algomojo API is also free of cost for life. So your entire automation process can be done without any charges being involved towards API as such. Now, only thing is, yeah, Zerodha used to charge the retail segment a monthly API charge that they have made it zero. So a couple of months they removed those charges also. So including Zerodha, you will be able to automate, and if you open a new account, you will be able to do it without any cost. You can run your strategies without any additional cost. Of course, you will need to have the subscription for TradingView, or if you're using Amibroker, you will need data feed. So those are the only costs that are involved. Otherwise, there's no other charges involved in our platform as such. So absolutely, we try to be as transparent as possible. So we tell you upfront these are the costs involved, and in case if you open a new account with any of these brokers, there's absolutely no charges that you need to pay to Algomojo to automate your strategies. Yeah, in case if you want to set a certain amount of profit or a certain amount of loss, and then exit the position, you can do that as such. Yes. Now, the automation happens in two parts. One is the setup to be that needs to be defined or done in Algomojo, and the second part is what needs to be done in your charting tool. It can be TradingView or Amibroker, any of these, or charting kind of environments. So it's just two-step process. So before getting into that, let's look at our platform and then get into. Well, let's see how to do the automation part. This is our website, algomojo.com. Now, in case if you need any new feature, there's a tab called Ask for a Feature. So click on this and provide the inputs as to what is the kind of feature that you're looking at. In case if it's already available, we can tell you how to use it. In case if it needs to be developed, and if it is technically and commercially feasible, we do that and implement it in our platform. See, what the way I would say is you can't say a maximum profit that you need to achieve in, or maximum loss or minimum loss as such. You can define your profit in, either in terms of percentage or points, or in terms of rupees also, M2M or profit kind of thing. Suppose you say that you want a profit of 5,000 rupees. So as soon as 5,000 rupees profit is reached, the position can get closed. Or if you don't want to take more than 2,000 rupees loss, so once the position hits a loss of 2,000 rupees, that position will, that whatever order is running or the position is open will be closed in our system. As I was trying to address a query which was asking if we can achieve maximum profit or minimum loss kind of thing. So it's pretty difficult to determine what will be the optimum profit. It depends on the strategy that you're running, depends on the time frame that you're looking. Various factors are involved in terms of what is the profit that can be achieved, or what is the kind of loss that one needs to look at for each of the positions that you open and run. In our system, we have given facility where you can say that you can, suppose you are looking at 50 points in Nifty futures. You can say that once 50 points is got on Nifty futures, this position to be closed, we will do that. Or if you don't want to take more than 30 points loss, you can say that 30 points loss is what I will take maximum. So if it hits that first, your position will get closed. Yeah. Now, The other thing is to open a new account, kindly use this tab, provide the details of name, email ID, and phone number, and select the broker with whom you want to open a new account. So that you get the Algomojo API is also free of cost if you do this process. So select the broker. It will take you to the broker's web page, wherein you can define what is that. It will take you to their web page and ask you to do the account opening process. So once the account is open, you will get your credentials of user ID and password, and after that you will be able to use our system, which will be enabled for lifetime free access as such. So kindly use this tab called open an account and create a new or get a new account open. Nowadays, it's a simple process. Provide all the documentation, the account gets opened in a day or max 2 days time with most of the brokers. Now, in case if you already open an account, if you already have an account, then yeah, you will need to take the subscription as such. So brokers don't allow that allow you to say get aligned with other providers like us, and so that is the reason we will not be able to give you free access as such. It has to be a new account that needs to be opened. So once you have an account, all you have to do is use this button called login. Now, for today's demo, we will use an account from Trade Genie. So for logging in, you have to use the same credentials which the broker would have given. So the user ID, password, and the TOTP. So it is the same process. There's no, you need not have to create new process or credentials for using accessing our system. Use the same broker provided credentials and login. So once you update the details with the username, password, and TOTP, you will get a default interface which will show you the funds and holdings and what are the positions which are open, what are the orders placed for the day, kind of thing. On the right side top also you will see the tabs like orders and trades and position. Now these would include both all the orders that are placed using not only API, even manual orders, or if you are placed from directly from broker's web page, all orders will be shown here. All trades done during the day will be shown here. All positions open will be shown here. It's not just restricted to API. It is all orders that you can see. It is nothing like nothing but like your broker interface. When you look at a broker's website, it will show you the trades taken or the positions open. All that will be provided as a summary here. Now, once you have an account, there are a lot of tabs on the left side which you can see. Go to the first tab called My API, and when you are doing it for the first time, it will ask you to accept the terms and conditions. And once you do that, you will get 7 days trial. Or if you have opened a new account using our platform as a referral, then you will get close to about 9,500 days as the free access for using our platform. So generate the APIs, and after that, you will be able to use our system. Right. So after you get the API, just again go to another tab called My Strategies. Now this is where we have to go and define what is that we want to trade. Now we call it as strategy creation in Algomojo. So the first step is to define what is that you want to trade, whether it is equities or futures or options. You define that here. So when you're doing it for the first time, use this button called New Strategy, and it will ask you to update with certain details. Once the details are provided, it will always be saved and it will be available for you. So it's a one-time activity that you need to do. Suppose you are trading in, say, Nifty or Bank Nifty, or say MCX, crude oil, some any instrument that you are trying to trade. So for each of those instruments, create a separate strategy. So for the demo purpose, first let's look at how to trade in, say, Nifty futures. I'll give a name for that. Third chair. It can be any name. So there's a rule. There's something called a rule, which is an important criteria for orders to get placed as per your expectation. There are five rules that we have defined in our system based on various inputs and various strategies that we have seen. And these can be categorized as long only, short only, long plus short, buy, sell, short cover, and stop and reversal. Now, it is important that you select the use the correct rule so that the orders get placed as per your strategy requirements. Now, when to use which rule, you can get a small definition of about each rule when you take the cursor on these rules, and I will explain in detail when we open a chart. And using that chart and a strategy, I'll show you what each of these rules mean and when to use which rule. Now, for the first demo, we will be doing it in TradingView, and we'll be using a strategy called Super Trend. I'm sure most of you would have heard or used Super Trend. So, Super Trend is a pretty popular strategy. A lot of people have been using it, and as you're aware, it is always in trade, either long or short. So, we will for such kind of strategies, which is always in trade, either long or short, you will need to use a rule called stop and reverse. Now, why stop and reverse? I will explain when we look at the strategy on the chart. So select the rule, then define what is the segment that you want to trade. Since we are looking at Nifty futures, I will use this future and option tab. And under the trading symbol, you will need to select from the drop down. If you type the first few letters of the symbol that you want to use, you will get a list. So I'll select the Jan contract of Nifty. As you're aware, Nifty contract size have got changed from 75 to 65. So you'll be by default it will be set to one lot. In case if you want to trade in 100 lots, say, then accordingly you can update the number of lots that you want to trade. It will also show you the quantity, so it will translate to 6,500 quantity. Then order can be MIS or NRML, that is for delivery. You can select from the drop down whichever is that you are trying to trade. And price is always market. We don't have the facility for limit order as of now. Now, limit order is another facility which will be rolled out in our next version pretty soon as such. Now, once you define the number of lots that you need to trade, the rest of the things can either be you need not have to touch them in case if you don't require to define the targets and stop loss kind of thing, if your strategy itself is taking care of those parameters. Otherwise, if you want to use our platform for setting the target and stop loss, you can do it in this section. So you can say that you want to set the targets in terms of points. Suppose you're trading Nifty and you want to give a target say of 75 points, you can define that. And in case if you want to keep a stop loss of say 30 points, you can do that here. So you can use our platform to set the targets and stop loss. And if you want to trail the stop loss also, that's again possible here. So in case if your strategy is doing those taking care of these, you need not have to update this. Since we are going to use super trend, I'll not define any targets and stop loss as of now, because the those are set by the super trend itself. See, as of now, you have to define the quantity that you want to trade here itself. In case if you want to define or send the quantity from the chart, as of now is not possible. Yes. So the next section talks about the start time and end time and square off time. If you are looking at MIS kind of orders, what time you want to square off, and if you are looking at say rollovers, you can do those kind of settings here. And in case if you want to limit the number of trades, you can set it here. So you can say that maximum daily signals I don't want to trade more than 3 signals. You can define that here. By default, it will be set to 0. That means any signal coming from your chart will be executed. There could be, say, 10 signals coming in a day. So all 10 signals will be processed and the orders will be placed. So if you want to limit it, you can update it here. Otherwise, you can leave it to the default. Even start time and end time also. By default, it is set at 9:15, and in case if you are a commodity trader, it can go until whatever time the exchanges close, 11:30, 12 kind of time frames also. So once you define what is that you want to trade, and in case if you have any target and stop loss kind of settings to be done, you can update it here. And if you want any limitation in terms of number of trades that you want to do, you can update it here and submit this. One second. Yeah, I think there's some. Oh, I think there's some update which is going on. So the split order is not getting updated properly. Let me check that. Just one second. Just one moment. Yeah. So once you create this, it will be saved, and you can have a look at it here. Go back here. It will show you all the strategies that you create in under this tab called My Strategies. So every day in the morning, all you have to do is log into your system, and by default, it will be your strategies will be in inactive state. So go to the strategy section and make it active either for paper trade or for live trade. Start with the paper trade and see how the orders are going. And once if the orders are going as per your requirements, you can shift over to live trades as such. So every day morning, try and log in as close to market open time as possible. Say do it after 8:45 kind of time frames. If you do it pretty early, say at say 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, the tokens that we get from the brokers for your account will be changed, because brokers would be doing the maintenance activity, and they would only give the fresh token valid for the day close to market open, or after they finish their back end activities which they do every day. So try and do it as close to say 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock time frames. Don't do it pretty early. In case if you're traveling or you're abroad, if you do it at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, the system will not, the orders will get rejected saying that invalid session, because the token would have expired what you have used, and a new token would have been provided by the broker. If it is not updated, then the orders will not get executed. Yeah. See, as somebody also asked whether you can do partial booking. Partial booking currently is not possible. So the quantity that you define here we whatever quantity you define in this page is what it will trade. And if you're trying to send quantity, or there's no facility for sending quantity from TradingView as of now, maybe we could have that feature going forward, wherein you will be able to send even the quantity that you want to trade as a parameter, like the trading symbol. Even the quantity can be done, so that will come in at a slightly uh, later date as such. Yes. See, if you have opened a new account, you were using Algomojo as a referral, then after the 7 days trial period, yeah, it will be updated to lifetime free of cost. Uh, as such. So the you can open account with um, see these seven brokers: Allies Blue, Dhan, First Stop, Fires, Goodwill, any of these accounts, brokers as such. So if you use this reference page and then open the new account with say Dhan, then after the trial period, it will get extended for lifetime as such. That is one part. And second part that I would also like to mention is that now, in case if you want to use the same signals that you're running from, say, TradingView, you have a strategy and you're running it for yourself, you would like to share it with your friends and families, that's again possible. We have a facility wherein you can publish, go here and say publish the signal. Under this, you will get, you can add your uh, say friends and family members. Yeah, so mention which is the broker and what is the client id and till when you want to give them validity, so you can keep adding. You can add up to 10 brokers or 10 members into each strategy as such. If you have more than 10, then we would recommend that look at creating a similar strategy and add the additional 10 or whatever new account that you would have. So it's possible to share the signals from our platform for execution into your friends and family accounts also, using this facility called publish, signal publish kind of thing. Yes. So once we do this definition as to what is that you want to trade, whether it is Nifty, Bank Nifty, or MCX, any of these, and quantity is defined, and whether it's positional, intraday, all those settings that you want to do, you once you do this, the second part would be what we need to do in the charting tool. So we will look at trading view today. So if you go to trading view, so you will need to have a subscription for TradingView because the free version doesn't support the webhook URL facility, which is essential for automation purpose, right? So you will need to have at least the minimum subscription. Yeah. Now, once you have the subscription, the steps, the process to automate is pretty simple. Select the instrument that you want to trade first. Now, for today's demo, let's look at the crypto segment. Just to generate a signal. It is not that you can trade in, say, Bitcoin kind of thing or crypto kind of thing. It is just to get a live signal. We will look at crypto. Those markets are open, so uh, we will be able to generate or get new signals from this chart. Only for that purpose, we will be using the Bitcoin for the demo. It is not that you can place an order in Bitcoin using our tool. So first, load the instrument. Suppose you are trading Nifty, load the Nifty symbol here. It can be spot or future, whichever as per your strategy requirement. Load that. Then select the time frame, whether it is 1 minute, 15 minute, or whatever time frame that you're trying to use for your strategy. So select the time frame and then load your strategy. For demo, already loaded the strategy called Super Trend. Make that visible. So, super trend, like it is always in trade, either long or short. So when there's a sell signal come, it will take a short position, and when there's a buy coming in, it will close the short and then take the long position. So it will stop and reverse the trade. So if a short is running, then it will and a long trigger gets generated or long signal gets generated, then the short portion will be closed and a new long portion will be taken. So it will keep running in that fashion. So whenever there's a signal to sell, it will take a short. When there's a buy, it will reverse that, close that short portion and take a long portion. Here it will take the close the long portion and reverse the portion to short. So it will keep running long or short as per the signals that are sent from here. Now, see, in case, so the first step is the symbol, then select the time frame and load your strategy. So once you load your strategy, the next step would be to create an alert for this purpose. Let me try and create an alert. Now, before that, let me briefly tell you what are the different types of rules that we were talking about using this chart. Now, if you are a trader and you feel that, okay, 26 will be a year where you would like to take only the long trades, you expect the markets to move up, and you don't want to take any short trades, then use the rule called long only. So, what it will do is we will process only the long signals coming in. Suppose there's a buy signal coming in, we will take the buy signal and place the order for long position in Nifty. Now, when a sell comes, the long position will be closed and no new short position will be taken. So it will wait for the next buy signal to be generated from your chart. So when we get a new buy signal somewhere here or later point in the day, it will trigger a long. So it will take only the long trades and not take the short trades at all. Now, if you want to take only the short trades, use the rule called short only. So it will take only the short trades. It will not take any long trades at all. Now, suppose you want to take both type of signals, long and short, then use the third rule called long play short, buy sell. So there's another version called long play short, buy sell, short cover. Trading view normally gives you buy and sell signal and not the short and cover. So short and cover we come across mainly in Amibroker kind of environment, but there are some people who define short and cover also in TradingView. So if you are able to send short and cover also as an action from TradingView, then you can use the fourth rule. And for strategies like super trend, if you have a strategy which is similar in nature, in the sense it is always in trade, either long or short, then use the stop and reverse as the rule. So what it does is it will take, say for example, a short is running now. It would have taken a short position. When a long comes in, it will close the short position and take a long position. So it will keep alternating between long and short. So it will close the existing position and take the reverse of that. If it is short, then it will take long. If it is long, it will take short. So that is why the rule called stop and reverse. So any strategy which is by nature in similar to say a trading super trend, use the rule called stop and reverse. So in case if you have any confusion in terms of what rule to be used, you can refer to our documentation or get in touch with a support team also. They can look at your strategy and suggest the appropriate rule to be enabled. See, selection of the rules is the most important criteria, because suppose you are running say strategy which is like always in trade, and you have selected buy and sell. What happens is, and not the stop and reverse, what happens is it will take the long trade here, and when the sell comes, it will close the long position and not take the short position at all. Whereas your requirement as a strategy was to take the short also. So if you selected stop and reverse, then it will take the stop reverse portion. If you selected long plus short buy sell, then it will just close that long portion. So the order would not be processed as per your strategy requirement. So you might feel that okay, platform is not meeting your requirement, which is not the case. It is only the change of rule that you need to set, and once you change that rule, you will start seeing the orders getting placed. So that is why we always suggest that start with the paper trade, see if all the signals are getting processed as per your requirement, and once you're able to see that, do the rule setting and whatever quantity MIs, all those parameters are happening correctly, then you can shift over to live trade as such. Yes, you can use it using from charting also. Yes. So charting is also pretty similar. So let us first look at how do we automate the super trend strategy. So after you load the strategy, go to this strategy name and click on this add alert button. So it will, when you click on this, you will get a pop-up box. You have to go to this message tab, and by default, whatever is there, remove that and go to Algomojo and go to your strategy that you just created. For example, this is what we just created. And if you scroll down, you will see this code. called trading view. Under that you have strategy. Under that you have this code. Just copy this code and paste it here and give a name. Say for example, let's say it as NFST demo, super trend demo, and go to the notification section, and under the webhook URL, whatever is there by default, remove that, and from your strategy, for example here, go copy this webhook URL and paste it here. So only two copy paste to be done. One is the webhook URL and the other one is the message box content. So give it a name and say create. That's it. So once you do that, you'll be able, your strategy will be listed here. Yes, the alert will be listed here. So now we are ready to take any signal that would come in from here. That is all is the step that is required. So this is again is a one-time setup that you need to do. And in Algomojo, you just update the strategy that you want to trade or the instrument that you want to trade as a one-time activity. So morning after you log in, come and enable it for paper trade or live trade. And trading view, as you are aware, it is in the cloud and you need not have to keep creating the alert. It is a one-time thing that you have to do. After that, it will keep running in the cloud environment, and signals coming in from here will be sent across to Algomojo, and those will be sent to your broker account from Algomojo for execution. So these are the steps that I involved. So always start with the symbol that you want to trade, then select the time frame, then load your strategy and create an alert. Alert creation. So as long you can bring in any strategy that is available that you're trying to automate, and as long as it has got a facility to add alerts, you will be able to automate. So all you have to do is look for in the strategy, or if you're building a strategy or getting it developed, ask them to provide this facility to add an alert. So in the alert, all you have to do is update this section and update the webhook URL. That's it. There's no other way. You need not have to get into any other changes in the code or strategy, and nothing as such. It's only these two copy paste that you have to do. And once you update these two fields, for example here, message box and the webhook URL, it is always available and it will keep working for you. You need not have to um, do any intervention. You need not have to do any monitoring of these. It will be there and it will keep running. So every day morning around 8:45, log into Algomojo and enable your trade strategy that you have created, and that's it. After that, you can close your system also. Suppose internet is off, or there's power shutdown, or your laptop has crashed, something has happened. Not to worry, the trading view would be sending the signals whenever the strategy meets the criteria, and it will come to Algomojo. Algomojo will place that signal as an order to your broker account. So even if your system is off, only thing that you need not should not do is log out from the system. So you should not go here and log out. Don't log out. You can close the browser also. So not an issue. You can close it and it will keep working for you at the time. How many strategies it permits per script? I'm not um, able to understand your query, sir. Um, if you could kindly let me know, or redefine your requirement, I can try and address that. So, any queries on this as to how to create an alert and how to automate? You can bring in any strategy. As long as it is generating buy sell signals, you'll be able to do it. Yeah. So this is what we saw for say trading in futures. Now, if you are wanting to trade in, say, options, so you can create a new option strategy here. Go to Algomojo and see, this is what we created for futures. Let's try and do one for options. Go here and create a strategy for, say, Bank Nifty options. So we'll say BN options 3rd Jan. Okay, so we'll select the same strategy. So stop and reverse, and segment we will say as dynamic options. So the dynamic options helps you to select the strike that you want to trade. Suppose you want to trade ITM or OTM, you can select it from here. So you get up to 20 strikes in the money and 20 strikes out of the money. So you can select any of the strikes that you want to trade with. Suppose you want to trade in, say, ITM 5, then you can select that here. And after that, select the instrument. Say, for example, you want to trade in Bank Nifty, select Bank Nifty, and which expiry, current month or next month or far month, you can select as per that. And normally, the current month is what gets traded because the options are not next month, and the far month options are not very liquid, and not many brokers allow you to take positions. So you can select the ITM 5, and then in case you want to buy, by default it is set to buying. In case you want to write an option, you can select selling. So when a buy comes, PE will be written, and if a sell comes, a CE will be written. So depending on whether you want to buy or sell, you can select from here. And whether it is MIS, NRML, you can do that selection from here. And once these basic details are updated, you can save the strategy and go to trading view and create one more alert. For example, let's create an alert for options here. So the way to do is, we'll use to say, if it was, say, Nifty 50, load the chart, load the time frame that you are trying to trade, and load the strategy. Here all you have to do is go again and create an alert. We will say this, give a name as BN options demo, and update this message box with this content. With this content, copy that and paste it here. And sorry, I did not get copied properly. And update the webhook URL. And say create. That's it. So your you have two strategies running. So one could be, suppose you're running a Nifty chart, then this is for trading in futures, and you are say trading in options, then you can create one more alert. So you can create as many alert on the same chart and the same strategy as such. Yeah, see, it is in the last week of expiry, the brokers normally allow for next week's uh, options to be traded, and you will find liquidity also, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you try to do the far month, then yes, it could be difficult. It may not be so liquid, and some brokers don't even allow. So you could have that kind of restriction. So, if your strategy, trading view strategy is coded to give buy, sell, short, and cover, then use the fourth rule, that is long play short, buy, sell, short, cover as the rule. So it will get supported. So if buy is coming in, it will take a long entry. Sell is coming in, then it will close the long position. If a short is coming in, it will take a short position. When a cover comes in, it will take a long position. That's it. Sorry, it will close the short position. So in case if you have any queries, do let me know. I'll be Yeah, good question. See, any signal coming in, so let us just wait for, we might get a buy signal. So, any signal coming in will be shown here. If you go to my strategies, my signals, so it will get displayed here. Whatever order signals are coming in for the day, and what are the orders placed, what are the positions open, all that will be shown here, right? Now, you can view it for the position. If you are running a swing trade, then position will be shown, it will be carry forwarded. However, the signals and orders will be shown only for that particular day. Now, historical reports of all the signals generated and all the orders placed, if you want to download it, currently it's not possible. So in our next version you will be able to download the historical data of orders and signals as such. Yeah, as you can see, there's a buy which has got just triggered. You'll be able to see that signal here. So it has triggered one for Nifty futures, the other one also for Bank Nifty options. So let's look at what has happened to these signals. Go to Algomojo and then go to my signals. As you can see here, Nifty future has got triggered for buy, and Nifty bank options also has got triggered, but since it has not been made active here, it is inactive. It is giving an error saying that the order has got rejected because you have not enabled that for live or paper trade. So unless you make that live or paper trade, the order will get rejected. So here you can see that the order has got processed, and you'll be able to see the order here, Nifty future 65 quantity, and you'll be able to see the position here. Here. So let me try and enable this also. So, so the entire system can keep running without any further changes or monitoring from your end. You after you do this one-time setups. So any signal coming in, it will be sent to Algomojo, and the order will be sent from Algomojo to your brokers. Yes. Suppose, say, for example, you have taken a position here and you would like to close this position manually. Always do it from here. Say, square off from here, and suppose you have got good profit or on this trade, you can close it off here. And now, what happens is, since we are using a rule called stop and reverse, if there's no position available, this based on the signal, it will take the single order as such, because we have done the update from here, right? Suppose you, if you had for example, the sell order has come here, you can see that position now currently running is a short position of minus 65, and it is not minus 130, because we updated from Algomojo the square off. Suppose you had done the same thing using your mobile phone. You have, say, TradeGenie mobile or app, and you close the order from there. There's no way we will know that you have closed this order unless you come back and update it here. Suppose, for example, you have closed this or squared off the position manually using the broker's app or broker's web page. All you have to do is you come and update it here. You can do that from here. You can say that, okay, me instead of minus 65, suppose you have closed it manually, you can say that as minus, change it to 0, so that we know that this position is no longer open. Otherwise, we will always think that, okay, this position is still open, and when the next order comes, we'll be trying to close this position open, which is open, but which you already closed it manually using a the broker's app or from the broker terminal itself. But our system is not aware that it has been done, so it will try and close that position and take a new position. So the order, there'll be a mismatch in terms of what is getting executed. So be careful. If you want to close any position, always do it from here, or if you do it from your broker terminal or mobile app, you come and update it here under my signals. Go to the position book and update whatever positions that you have closed or added those kind of things. Yeah, so that we know that there's no current position, and when a new signal comes, we'll act as per the quantity which is available here, and there'll be no mismatch. Right. Yeah, some of the new features that we are working on would include things like you can, yes, limit order is one that we are working on. The option strategies, currently you will need to define each of those legs independently, whereas you will have a facility, suppose you are trying to do a straddle. So at a click of a button, both the legs will be defined. Or if it's an iron condor, all the legs will be defined, predefined at a click of a button. You need not have to create them separately. So those kind of facilities are coming in. Then we are working on providing you better reporting in terms of facility for downloading the historical data of all the trades taken or all the signals that from TradingView or whichever charting tool that you're using. So you'll be able to download the historical data. So these are some of the things that we're trying to implement. The other thing that we're trying to implement also is that suppose you have say multiple strategies running, okay, and combined if you want to put in a combined target or a stop loss for all strategies put together, you will be able to do that. Currently in this version, you will need to define for each strategy the target and stop loss. It will not take into account the combined targets and stops. So in a new version, such facility will be available. Suppose you have, say, three positions open and you've defined saying that, okay, my target for the day, both strategies put together is say 25,000 rupees. So as soon as the combined profit and loss hits 25,000 rupees, all open positions will be closed. So such kind of facilities will be available. That's right. So, any changes that you do, always use this system. Do it from here itself. Now, suppose you have taken a new entry, and then you want to say you've taken the new entry manually, and you want the system to manage that going forward. You again come back here and say to update the position as say minus 65. So yeah, there's a short running. So you've taken the short position manually, but you come back and told the system saying that, okay, there's a one lot of nifty short which is running. So when the new signal comes in, we will know that there's a short position which is open. We will know what needs to be done as per the rule that you have set or selected, and we will place the orders accordingly. Yes. Yeah. See, if you are looking at something like a super trend, it itself is a trailing kind of strategy. A lot of people use it for trailing the positions. So you can get that coded in your system itself in the Pine code for setting targets and trailing the stops. So there are whatever is the logic that you want to use for setting targets and stops and trail those targets or trail those stops. You can get them coded. So as per the logic that you use, this signal will be generated to either enter or exit the trades. So those will be sent as an order from the alert that you would have set, and the order will be placed. So in case if you are not able to do that from here, you can use it, do that from, you can use our platform to set the target and stop loss here. Another interesting thing is a lot of people use is, suppose say you have taken an entry based on the super trend, and you want to have a separate target or a stop loss. You can do that by suppose creating a result alert. Now, for example, if you feel that, okay, there's a long which is getting triggered, and you feel that this is the resistance level at which it can get dropped again, the price could move down again, so you want to book the profit here. All you have to do is create an alert here. Say right click here and say add alert on this line. So you can fix the value. Say for example, let's keep it as 90,200. Say 200. And in terms of message box, say if the price is crossing up, you can see here 90,200, that level. And if the price crosses above 90,200, and I want that portion to be closed, the long portion taken to be closed, so I'll update the message box as say here, go here and copy this code, go down here and copy this code, say sell, copy this code and update it here, and give a name, say for example, line based exit or level based exit, and update the webhook URL. So if it is the same what you're using for long entry, then keep the same thing and then say create. So the portion, another alert will be created. So a long entry taken somewhere here, and the price moves to this level. So your long portion will get closed. And this is again a one-time setup. You can create it and leave it on your chart. And if you want to move it up and to a different level, you can shift that also. Suppose you feel that the market is going to trend and you would like to shift that level to a higher position, higher level, the exit. So you feel that okay, as per your analysis, the price might go to say 90,500. So you can shift it either manually or you can make the changes here also. You can say that it is keep it as 90,500. So there's a good feature in trading view. You can create it once and then do the adjustments on the screen itself, or use the values to make the levels or redefine the levels as such. Yeah, see, this now suppose you want to take a trade and you want to hedge that trade, for example, right? Um, Suppose, yeah, so there's a query as to how to do a hedging as such. Okay. Now, say for example, we are trading in Nifty futures. This is what we have just created for. Let's see this. So this is Nifty future that we have created. We also want to hedge it with an option. So what we'll do is we'll create one more leg for hedging purpose. So we'll create another leg. Here we'll say it as NF hedge, right? And select the same rule, stop and reverse, and select the segment as Nifty. Sorry, let me take it as dynamic symbol, and here we'll select Nifty, and we will say that I want to say hedge it with the first week option, for example, or whichever you want to hedge it with a current month option. Also, it's possible. It will show you the date also for you. Say if you want to hedge it with the next week's option itself, then select that. It will show you the date as 6th of January. Then you want to hedge it with say ITM 5, for example, say ITM 5, and in the option type you see it as hedge buying. So if a long is triggered, if Nifty moves to long, then a put will be bought, or if the Nifty short is taken, then a CE will be bought. So you're hedging the long portion or the short portion accordingly with a CE or a PE accordingly, right? So you create this leg and save this. This need to change name, right? Okay. Now, once you do that, both these strategies will be shown here. Enable for paper trade. So you have a Nifty main trade and the hedge leg. So both these legs are shown here. We want both these orders to be executed based on a single signal. So what we'll do is we'll group these two using a using it. You go to this tab called my group, my strategy group. So here we will group these two. So we will say that Nifty future, add this, and we will also say that hedge buy. What is the name I gave? One moment. Yeah, Nifty NF hedge, third Jan. So add this strategy. So you have Nifty future, and sorry, this is not the one. Yeah, Nifty future demo. Add this. So you have Nifty future, and you have a hedge for that. Right. So we'll give it a name, Nifty hedge, and say submit. So now the only difference is that once it gets saved, you will need to use this webhook URL and not the individual leg webhook URL. The rest of the process is the same. So we will copy this webhook URL and paste it as a hedge thing here. For example, this is what we created. Go to Nifty, the webhook URL, and update it with the group. You can see that the group TCG30 is there. So we will update that. So when a buy signal gets generated, we might get a buy now. So what it will do is it will take a long in future and also take a PE along with it. However, we'll need to enable this also. We'll enable this for paper trade. So, and these signals you'll be able to see under group, my group signal. So we have just got a long triggered. So you can see that buy has been triggered from trading view. Buy has been triggered. And under the group signals, you see this buy signal and you can see what are the orders placed. It has taken a future and a hedge also. So which of those orders? You have a future and it is hedged with a PE, and both the positions will be running. So you have a future and a PEH also taken based on a single signal. So this is how you can group the legs and do a hedge for your positions taken. So only difference is you create both the legs separately and then hedge them or group them with under this tab called my group strategy group, and use that webhook URL while creating an alert. So when the signal is coming in, we know that there's a group order. It is a group order. We'll go and check what are the group orders that to be placed, Nifty future and Nifty option for hedging. So we'll place send both those orders to the broker's terminal for execution. Right. So if you are a positional trader, for example, here my group signals. So if you are a positional trader, then if the trade is continuing for the next day, so or couple of days, the P and L, what you will see here, the P and L will be for swing trade. M2M is just the that day's trade. P and L will continue to be updated based on when you have taken the trade and what is the current price, those kind of things. I think there's some mock testing happening, so that's why these figures keep changing. Yes. So I think this exchange is doing some mock testing. So the price is at 26,326. You'll be able to see it in the live market, the prices and the P&L changing for the positions taken. Now, as I was saying, so this long has been taken. Suppose you want to exit that at a target at this level. For example, you can shift it here to this level. So when the price moves to this level, it will close the position as such. So you can use these kind of tools available in TradingView for setting targets and stops also. So suppose you have created this is for a long position. Suppose you want to you've taken a short position. You can what you can say is clone this and edit this and say that okay, if the price is crossing down a value of say uh, 89,770, for example, crossing down, you want a buy to be done. You would have taken a long short position. You want to close that position. You can say that here. So the level is here. So this is your target for exit for long position. And if you have taken a short position, you can have one more created for a short exit. Suppose you have taken a short position somewhere here and you expect the markets to keep coming down and stabilize somewhere here. So you want to exit that short position. You can create one for short exit, one for long exit. And dynamically you can keep moving them whenever you want. Okay, you feel that okay, the prices might trend higher or lower, you can keep shifting them. And these are one-time setups, as I was saying. It is always available for you. You can make the changes or keep shifting it, keep modifying it, as long as you want to use it. Suppose you don't want to use them, you can just go and say pause. And so what you created will not go waste. It will be there, and whenever you want to restart them, you can restart them. So these are some wonderful facilities available in TradingView. Try and use them. Right. Yeah, any queries? Anybody else would like to look at anything specific? There are a lot of people who use say trend lines. Yeah, see, in terms of errors, we just saw some sample errors. For example, here, uh, this got rejected because it was not enabled. Suppose there's an order rejected because of funds. It will say that okay, order rejected. See, the rejection reason given by your broker will be displayed here. Suppose the quantity, there's a mismatch, so they will say that the quantity is not matching. We will display the same message. They will say that if the broker says that there are no enough funds, or if the fund required is say 2 lakhs and you have 1 lakh, they will display a message saying there is a shortfall of 1 lakh, and this is the available amount, required amount. So we will display the same error messages given by the broker. So all these details of errors, order execution errors, will pick it up from the broker and display it for you. Now, however, here in this case, it was not enabled, so it is more of Algomojo's error that is getting displayed. Otherwise, the error details can be checked here itself. So if some order is getting rejected, just take your cursor there. It will show you the reason for rejection. RMS or quantity mismatch or market closed, those kind of things. So we are trying to place an order, say at 330, but when the order hit the market, they were closed. So it will say that order rejected because the order placed beyond trading time or whatever. So that message will be displayed here. Yeah, so we had in this group, if I understand your requirement correctly, sir, in this group we had said that you always hedge the in the group strategy that we created. For example, we had always said that you hedge our main portions. Suppose you are using super trend kind of trade. So when a long is taken, a PE will be it will be hedged with a PE. If there's a short trade coming in, it will take a short in Nifty and buy a CE for you, and it will keep reversing. So if a long is running, and it will be hedged with a PE, and if the Nifty goes short, a short Nifty portion will be opened, and it will be hedged with a call buy. So it will keep running for you. So based on the direction of the trade, either a CE will be taken or PE will be taken. If it is long, then PE will be taken. If it is short, then a CE will be taken. So if you are using a super trend kind of thing, it is after one time setup, it will keep alternating between CE and PE. It will keep hedging your long portion based on the direction. So if it is short, then it will take CE. Then if it is long, then it will take PE. Yeah, you can always exit the trade. Suppose you have taken a trade and you would like to exit that manually. Always do it from here. Go to position book and square off from here. You can say square off here and do this square off here, so that our system is updated with and shows that there is no new you have squared off and the quantity running is zero. So when the next signal comes, we know that there's no quantity available and we will place the appropriate quantity. Suppose you do it on the broken terminal, then there'll be a mismatch. So that's why we always say that you any changes that you have to do or any closing or opening of new positions, do it from here. Yeah, good question. In terms of what are the costs for IP, static IPs? See, static IPs are provided by the internet service providers. We host our services servers in data centers, and we take the services for their internet from the data center, and they charge for the IPs if we have to provide, or if we have to take it and give it to the users. So the static IP. So we have worked out a deal with our service provider to have a good pricing model. We are not doing any overhead on that. We are just passing on whatever is the cost charged by the service provider towards IP to the users. That is what will happen. But, whether it is 200, 500, I don't know the figure as of now. Once we go commercially, once it becomes mandatory and then you have to take the subscription, the charges will be announced and it will be visible for you. So it will not be our charges. It is basically the internet service providers, whatever IP the charges they levy to that. If for say public sector telecom providers, if we have to subscribe for a static IP, they charge something like 2,000 rupees kind of charges for IPs also. Now, I don't know how much would be, or sometime back, I have not checked recently, but earlier it used to be something like 2,000 rupees for static IPs. But I was given to understand it is not that high a figure, but it will be much lower. Yeah, VPS is what you are taking a server from the for your usage. So along with that server, it is something similar to that, and IP will be dedicated for or the users as such. Whoever subscribes for the IP, they will be given a static IP. You can use that static IP with any broker. Suppose you have taken one IP and today you're trading with Zerodha, and tomorrow you want to trade with Upstock. So it is the same IP which will go to Upstock. You need not have to buy a separate IP for your Upstock account as such. You can keep alternating or you can keep changing the brokers, but you need not have to subscribe for multiple IPs. It is just one IP that you have to take. Yeah, things like moving the stops to cost after a certain profit is hit is a facility. I don't think it will get released in the next version, but yes, it is work in progress. Whether it will be implemented in next release or after that, I'm not able to put a timeline as of now. Yes. Oh, yes, you can run the same strategy on multiple stocks. Now, for example, if you have a handful of stocks that you trade in, say, five stocks, say something like a Reliance, HDFC, kind of, or ABB, whatever. So, for load the strategy here, select Reliance and create an alert. And next is ABB, for example. You load ABB and you're running ABB on, say, 15-minute time frame. You create a separate alert. But the strategy can be the same. You're running super trend on all, say, Reliance, ABB, or it could be HDFC, it could be Yes Bank, any of the stocks. So you can run the same strategy, but you have to create separate alert for each of those stocks. And if the stock list is pretty high. TradingView has a facility where you can run a common strategy across your watch list as such. So suppose you have 200 stocks in the watch list and you want to run super trend on all of them, it's possible. However, you will need to take a higher version of subscription in TradingView. Yeah, we are working on increasing visibility in YouTube also. It will happen, sir. Yes. Now, when it comes to the pricing of TradingView, yeah, the basic plan would include um, 20 alerts is what you can create, 20 price alerts. The next isn't the plus plan allows you to add 100 alerts, price alerts, for example. Now, the if you are running it on a watch list, a strategy on a watch list, then you will need to look at either premium or ultimate, depending on how many watch lists you want to handle. Suppose you take premium, they allow up to two watch lists on which you can run a common strategy. If it is more, then you have to go in for a ultimate kind of plan, which allows 15 watch lists to be created, and for each watch list you can have say different strategies running as such. Yes. So if you have say less than 20 alerts, then the essential plan should be able to meet your requirements. If it's more than that, then you look at a plan which is the plus kind of pricing model from TradingView. Yes. Yes. Now, good question. Here, when you go to strategies, for example, here the code that we use for TradingView, in case if you use, suppose you are running multiple symbols, something like your watch list, or you're creating separate symbol for each symbol, you're running a different alert. Then you can use the same. You create one strategy, and from trading view you can send the symbol also. Suppose you are running Reliance, ABB, and HDFC, Yes Bank, and say maybe Adani Enterprise or something like that, all the five. So you can send the ticker name also from there, so that you need not have to create separate strategy for all of them. Suppose you're trading in one lot for all the stocks, then create one strategy like this, and something like this, right? And use the code from the trading view. You pass not only the signal of buy or sell, but you can also pass the symbol also from here. So if you say Reliance, so update the in the ticker when you're creating an alert in under Reliance's chart, go to symbol. So copy this and change this ticker to Reliance. If it is ABB, change it to ABB. If it is HDFC Bank, you change it to HDFC Bank. So when the signal is sent from there, so it will send us three details: the time and the symbol, and what is the action, whether it is buy or sell, long or short kind of thing. Yes, yes, you're right. Another facility that a lot of people use is or refer to in terms of their studies is breakouts. So people talk about say breakout or breakdown kind of thing. So you can say, for example, you have a you're watching a long-term trend and you feel that if the price crosses this trend line, you would like to take an entry. You can create your study here on the chart, and whenever the condition is met of breakout or breakdown, it can trigger an order. So you, establish or you put in your study on the chart, right click on that, say for example here, add alert on trend line, and then you can say that okay, if the price is crossing up this trend line, I want a long to be taken. So go to message box and update this with the buy. For example here, you can go and copy from here the buy code and paste it here and update the webhook URL and give it a name. So when the price breaks out above this level, then a long can be triggered. Similarly, if you are looking at a breakdown kind of thing, say for example, say that if the price is dropping below this channel, lower channel, you want a sell to be taken. So put in your drawing here, study here, and say add an alert, and say crossing down, crossing down. You want instead of buy, make it a sell, make it a sell, and say create. So if when there's a breakdown, it will take a sell. If there's a breakout, it will take a long. So these kind of studies can also be automated from TradingView to send orders for execution into your account. So it can be any drawing, it can be any strategy, it can be any indicator that you are using. As long as they're giving you buy sell kind of signals, any strategy giving you buy sell signals, you will be able to automate it. And it is a simple step as we saw in terms of creation of alert. All you have to do is update the message box content and update the webhook URL. Both these details by are given by us, and once you do that, it is always available for you. Suppose you don't want to run Nifty for next 1 week, you just come and pause it here and it will stop. It will not send any signals to us. And if you want to restart whenever, you can restart that. So TradingView has got lots of benefits. So and if you're familiar, you've got a good study, you've got a good strategy running there, you can effectively automate those things very in a very simple step using our platform. Sure. See, if when you are if you are a coder and you've developed your strategy using your Pine script, you know what are the signal chart symbol, those things to be updated here. You in the code itself, you can do that. We have tried to keep this platform for people to use who don't even who don't want to touch any coding part, who they are not good at coding or programming kind of thing. So we try to keep it as simple as possible. So just copy paste one or two things, you're done. Suppose you can handle the entire thing from your code itself. You're a coder or you got a good coder who can send all these details. You can do that also. You need not have to do copy paste itself. No, sir, not very sure of the utility that can be used for getting a visual graph of MTM. You need to search for it. Maybe you can build it also using Python or PineScript. You will need Python, looks like, and then build a graphic display to get your MTM or any position details that you have. It can be done nowadays with all the chat GPT is available. If you are you can create on your own. Right? If you are familiar in how to use the AI tools, you can do it. Yeah, suppose you want to do coding and you want to send all the parameters, you can refer to a library. You go here and on the left side, you will see these tabs. Go to this tab called API and under the API, go to this version 1. So here you can say place order. It will tell you what are the JSON to be updated. You can give you a symbol quantity. All that can be done from the code itself and you can send it. You can refer to this libraries. So Yes. So it will be, you will find it under API tab, and under that API tab, go to this place called version one. So for the various functions that can be handled using the APIs is all defined. Suppose you want to do a modification of the order, you want to place multiple orders, options order, you want to cancel an order, all that. How to do that is all defined, and you have ready-made JSONs available. So all you have to do is just copy paste them and incorporate that as a part of your Pine script, or if you're running any other tool, you can use these uh, JSON and run it on your own also. If you want to run pass the quantity and do various stuff, like you have your own logic of trailing or the profits or the stop losses, you can do it through API itself. You can refer to this library and see how to close position, or you want to check what are the order position, the positions open, you can call those positions. You want to square off certain things based on certain criteria, you can refer to this JSON, or square off all positions, you can run it from here itself. So if you are doing order placements entirely through API, then you need not have to do any strategy creation itself. So you don't have to get into defining what you want to trade, all this. All you have to do is just log in the morning and run your codes from whichever environment. Suppose you're doing it in Python, then run your Python engine, and whenever that is getting generated, you will be able to see those logs from here. If you go to request logs, it will show you all the request logs, and the order logs, all that will be seen here. Yes, under the My API logs. So details of all orders placed or signals processed, received, rejected, or executed, all that can be seen from here itself. You can see, if you are if you're using Pine code, then you want to incorporate certain things like your quantity and your um, say symbol, square off, targets, all that. So you can refer to this JSON and pass the signals from the Pine script using those JSON details. So when the Pine script is running and it is sending the orders, then it will come to Algomojo in the predefined API format, and it will get processed. Yeah. So you will not need a webhook URL at all. You're directly sending it from the API, so there's no need for an webhook URL there. But you're going to define the APIs of Algomojo at some place in your Pine script. You have to define. You will need to say where it has to go. So where it has to go will be understood from the APIs given by Algomojo. So you will need to use these APIs somewhere in your Pine script, and describe that, okay, this orders have to go to this API. So when it comes to when it hits this API, it comes to us, and we will look at to which customer it belongs to, and what is the action to be taken will be defined as per your Pine script, and it will be sent in the JSON formats that we have shown here under the API. So we know that what is the JSON coming in. If suppose you are looking at a modifying an order, then or for example, you want to cancel an order, you would have sent this here, API secret and or API key, and what needs to be done is all sent from here. Yes. So this is what you're going to use. So in case if you would like to do API based thing, you can refer to our blog. Let me just show you. Go to Algomojo and go to our blog. Sorry, you can search for API. Here you can see API button trading execution model, or the other things like Algomojo API launched with smart order functionalities. Refer to these libraries and then you can integrate and then um, start using them. So if you want to use Zerodas, how to do it, and you want to integrate with Algomojo API, how to do that, the entire process gets defined here. Here, if you want to send it from, say, Google Sheet, bulk orders for multiple brokers using APIs, you can do that, those things from here. All features that we have, if you go to Algomojo blog, you will get this thing, a blog which will define step by step what needs to be done for using them. How to create signal using Python library. So if you're running Python and you want to run your strategy from Python, so where you define quantity, the symbol, all the parameters you can, how to do that is all provided in this article. You can refer to this. We don't support API based integration as such because that's a coding activity altogether. Yes, we can take it up as a separate at a separate cost, but if you want any assistance in doing that, currently we don't do that. We just refer to the library. You can go to this library and look at the functionalities that you want to create, and you get all the API details, JSON, whatever is required is provided in this library. Post that, you will need to do the integration. See, there's a query on repainting as such. Repainting is normally we come across in Amibroker kind of environment. So, repaint, we have given a facility wherein, let me just try and show you. Yeah, for example, here, suppose you have a module, say something like you have a strategy, and if you feel that okay there's a repainting happening, you can say that entry and exit delay you can pass it as one, update it as one. So if the it will wait for the candle to close, and if the candle, if the signal is still persistent after the candle closes, after that particular candle closes, then one signal for either entry or exit will be sent across. So we have this as provided this as a default feature to help you out in terms of Amibroker repainting issue. So if you're facing Amibroker repainting issue, change this entry and exit delays to one. So it will wait till the candle closes, whether it is 1 minute candle, 5 minute or 15 minutes, whatever. And if the signal persists, then it will send the signal accordingly. See, when you select rollover, it will automatically roll over the stock which is running. If you're running a positional strategy and you have selected the rollover to happen on the say 5 days before the expiry at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then on that particular day at 2 o'clock, it will close the existing month's contract and it will take up the next month's contract. So you can define how many days prior you want the rollover to happen, what time you want the rollover to happen. Those parameters can be set in the system, and on those days it will close and take up the new portion. For example, here if you see this, my strategies. Let me edit this. So in terms of if you say rollover next expiry, then you can select the date one day before the expiry or on expiry day or how many days before the expiry. Say if you say that 4 days before the expiry, it will ask you the time also. You can give the time. Suppose you say that I want this to be rolled over at say 12 o'clock, 12 say for example a.m. Then 12:52 a.m. on 4 days before the expiry, it will close the current portion and take the next expiry portion. Yes. It can be done not only for indices, it can be done for stock, futures, options, all that. Yeah. Any other thing anybody would like to have a look at in trading view? Do let me know. I'll be happy to show the same. Yeah, the new version will have facilities where you can say what is the strike you want to use. Suppose you feel that instead of selecting, say, Nifty 50 strike, you have each strike separated by 50-50. So you can say that instead of 50, you can make it 100. That is another version update that would have that. Yes. It will round off to the next 100 or next 50. Yes, suppose you want to do a copy trade for your friends and relations. Yeah, all of them will need to have an account either open to Algomojo to get the free APIs, or all of them should have a subscription for Algomojo also. Suppose you have three friends, you want to send the same signals for Nifty, say options. So you're running your trading view, one subscription and one signal into your account. And whenever there's a trigger coming in, it will not only place orders for you, it can place orders for your friends and relations also. And for each of those users, you can have different say quantity. Somebody might be trading 10 lots, another person might be trading 5 lots, another person could be trading in 25 lots. So each of them can have different parameter settings based on what is that what is the kind of capital they are deploying, what is the risk taking ability of those users. Based on that, you can accordingly set the position size also for them. Yeah, the rounding off to 50 or 100 would be to the nearest strike. If you say ATM, then and you wanted to round it off to the nearest 100, it will do that, yes. But may not be in the next version. I'm not sure. We were told that it could happen in the next version. Hopefully, it will be there. We will confirm to you. A bit about our support system. So, in case you need any help in terms of usage of a platform, any assistance or any explanation that is required, um, you can contact us between 9 to 5 from Monday to Fridays. On Saturdays, we are available from 10 to 5. You can contact us on a WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 810 or you can call us. Helpline number is 8550828 and or you can raise a ticket. If it's not very critical, you want some explanation, you can raise a ticket. You want immediate help, either you can call or you can get on WhatsApp, or you can send an email also to us. We have a chat facility. You can, yeah, so using this chat facility you can get online support. So if there's something that you want us to have a look at your chart or uh, assist you in terms of creation of a strategy or whatever, online support, we'll use the remote desktop access methods, typically ultra viewer, and then have a look at your screen and then help you out in terms of doing the setups for you or getting anything clarified, we can do it online. Yes. These are various methods of getting in touch with us. Yeah. Thanks. My name is Lokesh. And in case you have any requirements for coding for PineScript or for Amibroker or for, say, Python kind of environments, do send me the requirements. Be as explicit in terms of your requirement as possible, because that will determine the cost and time involved that will be involved for creation of the codes. Send it to this ID, lokesh@finfolab.com. We could study that and come back and tell you what will be the cost and how much time it will take. And if it's okay with you, we can take it forward. Yes. We have an extensive blog. Kindly refer to them, algomojo.com/blog. And our website is algomojo.com. Do let me know in case if there's any clarification information required. Otherwise, we can conclude the session. Thanks a lot, and wishing everyone a very happy New Year. And thank you for providing us an opportunity to show our platform, and maybe hopefully we'll be able to add some value to your trading and investment journey in the coming year. Thank you, and have a nice weekend too.